Hello everyone. I hope your GATE DA paper went well. Okay. So there are a lot of reaction from the student that paper was tough, paper was moderate. Let's discuss in this particular video. We are going to do a complete analysis of a paper. Let's see which subject was difficult. Okay. And at the last, I will tell you what are the good number of attempts. Okay. So first we are going to start with the aptitude part. Aptitude part. Okay. So we all know that it consists of 10 questions for 15 marks, right? Now, if you see from this 10 question, there was 1 mark question. Okay, there are 5 questions of 1 mark and 5 questions of 2 marks. If you analyze this particular aptitude part here, in 1 mark section, one question was came from analogy, simple question, analogy. Okay, there was one more question from English grammar. So fill in the blanks type of question was there. So I can say grammar, right? Then, or we can say English part. Then we have one digital drawing was given, digital drawing or something related to a pixel was there, and the question was based on that. Okay, and then we have one more question based on some percentage increase in width, and based on that, that is in the case of rectangle, and based on that there was few options. Okay, so increase in area by 10%, increase in perimeter by 10%, like that. Then we have one more question based on what, geometry, or we can say reasoning based question. Okay, geometry plus we can say a reasoning based question, logical reasoning part. Okay, so this 5 question was there for 1 mark. If you observe from this particular 5 questions, second question was easier, fourth question was easier, and we can say analogy, and analogy also was easier. Okay, so I can say out of 5 questions, 3 questions are easily solvable. Okay, now what about 2 marks question? In 2 marks question, there was one question based on geometry. Okay, so difficult question I can say based on geometry for 2 marks. Then second question was based on some data interpretation, simple question based on data interpretation. A bar graph was given to you, and based on that there was one question. Okay, so simple question. Then third was indices, some 2 to the power 9, then x square, like that the question was given, and I think the answer was 2 to the power 3. Okay, so simple question. Then we have one question based on the functions. So function means what? There was one case where weight is related to a age. This thing was given to us, and then you can see, and based on this there was few options, right? Like a1 greater than, less than a2, or some in 50, right? So based on this particular case, there was one question. Okay, in aptitude section for 2 marks. And then the last we have one question based on what? English match the pair. English match the pair. Okay, so very easy question from a 2 mark section. This particular thing, because for this indices part, simple mathematics of your 7th 8th standard was required, and this DI also. So I can say from this 5 question as well, you can easily solve this 3 question and 3 question from this particular aptitude part. So I can say 1 2 3, and here we have 6 marks. So out of 15, 9 marks on an average you should score. Like I'm talking about the entire group of a student, right? Considering all the levels. So I can say you can easily score 9 marks out of this 15 marks from aptitude part. Okay, so I can say 9 marks from this particular topic student can score very easily. Okay, now this is about the aptitude part. Now let's move on to a technical section here. So there are 7 subjects, we all know that, but first we are going to talk about the AI course. Simple. Okay, so there was 4 question based on AI course. So I can say there was 2 questions for 1 mark each and 2 questions for 2 mark each. Okay, so total 4 question for how many marks? 6 marks. So 6 marks was there for AI. Okay, and if you observe in 1 mark section, there was one question based on Bayesian network. Okay, simple theoretical question. If you have watched my video on Bayesian network, introduction video based on uncertainty topic. In that I have covered all those things, right, in the first two video itself. So that is more than enough to solve that particular question. Okay, Bayesian network, simple question. Second question was based on propositional logic. Some four logic was given to you, S1, S2, S3, S4, and you need to find out which are equivalent. Simple, based on the rules. In every video, whenever I see P implies Q, I have told you two things. Okay, based on this particular properties of this particular P implies Q, there was one question. So simple question for 1 marks. Okay, then we have 2 mark section. In that, one question was based on A star search. So we have solved number of questions based on this particular topic in our course as well as in test series. So you should be able to solve this question very easily. Okay, nothing in that. And then we have one question based on alpha beta pruning. Okay, so if you understand, when we prune the nodes, whenever the alpha value is greater than beta value, in that particular case we prune the node. Okay, if you apply this particular concept to both the trees, so two tree was given to you and you need to find out the range of x and y in respect to tree. So you just need to apply this particular condition and find out the range for that. Simple question, concept was easier. Okay, if you understand this particular concept of alpha beta pruning, when we prune the node, whenever this condition is satisfied, then you can easily solve that particular question. So I can say from this AI topic, all the 6 marks are easy to score. Okay, nothing much in the AI part. Simple Bayesian network, you can simply watch the lectures, few lectures, that's it. Proposition logic, simple. Even you don't require anything for this particular second question. If you remember what you have learned in your 11th and 12th, that's it. Okay, so based on that, only second question was there. Then I can say these two questions required understanding of the concept. But if you have gone through my YouTube video as well, even if you have not purchased my paid course, still you can solve these two questions. Okay, so I can say 6 marks was on easier side in AI topic. So again, you can easily score 6 out of 6 from AI section if you simply watch my videos on YouTube. That's it. Okay, now this is about the AI part, 4 questions for 6 marks. Now let's talk about the calculus part here. Okay, calculus part. Now if you observe, there are total 6 questions. So 3 questions 1 mark each and 3 questions 2 mark each. Okay, so in total, again I can say the weightage for calculus part is 9 marks. Okay, good amount of weightage was there for calculus, 9 marks. Now in 1 mark section, there was 3 questions. So one question was based on limit t tends to infinite. Then we have under root of t square plus t minus t. Simple a question for 1 mark. You can easily solve this type of question. Then we have second one based on the functions. Okay, functions f and g. So I already covered this particular part in my calculus course and the properties of how both the functions f, fog and gof was related, right? So if you get this type of question, if you remember those properties, you can easily solve this type of question. Again, simple question for 1 marks, nothing in that. Now third question was based on derivative. So even though I have not covered derivative part, but you must know in 11th and 12th we have already learned this particular thing in our mathematics course. Simple derivative was asked for e to the power x minus e to the power minus x by 2. So this was f of x. I think the 10th derivative was asked for this particular function. So again, simple question for 1 marks. Okay, now what about 2 mark? So one question was there based on maxima and minima. Okay, so maximum and minima, in this particular question you need to find out the maximum and minimum value. Okay, it was MSQ question, so you need to find out maximum and minimum value. There was one more question on same topic, but in that question you need to find out absolute, or we can say local and global maxima and minima. So there was 2 questions based on maxima and minima topic. Simple question. If you understand the process, f of x is given, differentiate that equal to 0, again differentiate, then put the roots in that particular second derivative and see whether it's less than or greater than 0. Okay, that's it. Simple process you need to follow in both the questions, nothing in it. So there was 2 questions based on maxima and minima. Then there was third question I don't have an exact question, but I can say that is basically a moderate level. I cannot say we can easily solve that question. So f of x minus f of y in mod was given to you, and condition is it less than equal to x minus y whole square. And based on this, there was one question. So again, I can say from this calculus topic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can easily solve 5 questions. So I can say 7 marks are easier to get from calculus part. If you are prepared well, then it is easy to score 7 marks. Even if you have simply go through my course, I have already discussed maxima and minima in detail, and many question was there in test series part as well. So 1, 2, this limit part and this function also you can easily solve. And derivative, if you know your 11th and 12th mathematics, simple question was this. Okay, so you can easily score 7 marks from this particular topic. So I'm talking about the average to good student. Okay, those who are prepared well for the gate exam. So again, 7 marks out of 9 was easy to score in calculus part. Okay, so we discuss about AI and calculus. Now let's discuss about the PDSA. PDSA means what? Python and data structures and algorithm. So good amount of weightage was there. So I can say there was 3 questions for 1 mark, 3 questions for 1 mark, and then we have 5 questions for 2 marks. So we can say around 13 marks weightage was given to PDSA course. Then if you observe 1 mark question, there was one question based on what? Python. Simple, two list was given to you, L1 and L2. You need to merge both the lists. That's it. Simple question for 1 marks. Then we have one more question based on insertion sort. So if you understand how this insertion sort works, so after second swap, so question was based on after 2 swap, what will be the range of x? So in the array, x was the unknown, and after 2 swap, we need to find out the expected value of x. So I think it was MSQ question. So again, simple question if you understand the concept. That's it. Then we have binary search question. So based binary search, one question was there based on log and complexity. Okay. So again, a simple question. If you have prepared the course well, if you have gone through the content, you will again easily solve all the 3 questions. Okay. Not much difficult. Then we have 2-mark question. So here you can see 2-mark question. One question was based on Python, that is basically set operations. Okay, set operations. So I have not added any question based on set operation in my test series, but in the lecture I have covered the set operations in video. So if you watch that, you can see that what this particular thing indicate. A, then we have mid, then B. It means A union B, like that. Okay. So this is about the set operations, and one question was based on that. So if you understand a basic of Python also, you can easily solve this type of question based on set operations. Okay. Second one is what? Again Python and recursion. Okay. Simple question based on recursion. We have discussed many questions. In every test series, we have 2 questions based on recursion. So again, there was one question. So and that was simple question. Okay. You should be able to solve this question. That's it. Then we have third part. That is basically a pseudocode, I can say. Pseudocode, empty stack was given to you. Some operations we need to perform, and while loop was there, and there was few if statement. So if you understand the flow of the code, again I can say this average question, moderate question, not much difficult. If you just follow what pseudocode is doing, that's it. Again, you can solve this question very easily if you understand how this push and pop operation works in stack. That's it. Okay. So if you understand the concept of stack and how that pseudocode is working, in pseudocode only while loop was there and 2 if condition was there. That's it. Okay. And then you can easily solve this type of question. Okay. So I can say these 3 questions are again easy to solve. Not that much difficult. Then we have one question based on what? Directed graph was there. So not graph was not given, but in the form of sentence. We have vertices ranging from 0 to 100. Then we have age, like that, based on what? So ij is given to you, like age ij. Then there was one condition, 0 less than j minus 1 less than 2. This particular thing. Okay. And it's belong to V. Something like that condition was given. Okay. So yeah, I can say this questions required understanding how this notation is working. But if you understand the concept, again I can say a moderate level question here. This was a moderate level question, and once you get the graph, you need to apply DFS and some question based on this particular thing. Okay, so this I can say moderate. I can also consider this as moderate level question. Okay, now there was one more question. Fifth question was based on graph theory, that is basically a shortest path. So again, a moderate level question I can say, not much difficult. Okay, so one graph was given to you and you need to find out which age is not possible, like that question. Okay, so from this particular subject PDSA course, out of 13 marks, so I can say 1 2 3, this one, these two questions you can easily solve, even pseudocode part as well. So average to good student should able to solve, should able to get at least 9 marks. I can say 7 to 9 marks from this particular PDSA course. Okay, even if we ignore this two particular question, if you did understand this question, but pseudocode question was easier if you understand this particular topic. So I'm expecting 9 marks to score very easily from this PDS. Nothing was there in this particular topic as well. So I can consider this as moderate level, and this calculus I can say easier side, and this AI is also on easier side, aptitude part on the moderate side. Okay, moderate to difficult we can say. Okay, because it requires time to solve the question, but this is easy, this is easy, this is moderate because of these two questions. Okay, this graph based question. Now this is about the PDSA course. Now let's talk about a DBMS course here. DBMS course. Now there was 4 questions for 1 mark and 4 questions from 2 mark each. Okay, so let's discuss. So if we talk about 1 mark question, so there was one question based on hashing. Okay, so simple question. If you understand the concept, you can solve this question. But if you have not gone through the concept, I have not covered this concept in my particular course. So we are going to add this now. So I can say easier question, simple hash function was given to you and you need to insert the values 14 and 15 instead of x, and whatever the output was there, that is the answer. Simple question, okay, for 1 mark. But we are going to add this topic in our course for the next year, so don't worry about this hashing part. Then we have dependency preserving. Dependency preserving. So again, simple question for in order to dependency preserve, what we should do, join. Then we have some different option, but again it was an easier side I can say, dependency preserving. Then here we can say there was one question based on SQL. Simple SQL query was given to you, only one condition or two condition was there. So based on the subquery, in subquery they use max as aggregate function, and the output of this particular subquery was compared with the greater than symbol. That's it. Again, easier question for 1 mark. Then we have one more question based on relational algebra, joins, or we can say natural join, this particular thing. So if you have watched my videos on relational algebra, you can easily solve that type of question. Okay, so simple SQL question, relational algebra question, hashing part was also there, dependency was also easy I can say, if you are prepared well. Now 2 mark question. So there was one question based on normalization, BCNF, and candidate key. We have added enough question in our test series, and we have also have enough tutorial on normalization. If you have gone through that, you can easily solve this type of question. Then we have one question based on OLAP, and then we have fact table, but that question was not based on actually this particular concept. It was based on that cube concept, right? So some group by cube, then D1, D2 was given to you. I have not discussed this thing in detail in my course, but in the notes you can see there was some concept related to that. Okay, but we'll try to cover this part as well. Okay, so I can say moderate level, moderate to difficult, this particular thing. Then we have one more question based on join and division operator. So simple question, if you understand how this division operator works, or even if you have watched the previous year question in GATE DA 24, there was one question based on this division operation. If you have watched that particular tutorial, you can easily solve that particular question. Okay, so that's it, simple question based on 2 marks. Then we have one SQL based question, some candidate key, primary key, null concept. So again, easy question. If you have simply go to the content, you can easily solve this type of question. So I can say this, from DBMS part, you can easily get 3 marks from this, and here 6 marks from this particular thing. So I can say 8 to 9 marks. So out of 12 marks, you can easily score 8 to 9 marks from DBMS part. Okay. So just go to the content and go to the test series part. That will be good enough. Now next we have machine learning part. Next we have machine learning part. So ML was there for how many marks? So if you observe, there was one, there was 4 questions for 1 mark, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 questions for 2 mark. Again 12 mark weightage was given to ML. So in 1 mark question, if you see, one question was based on linear least square regression. Okay, so if you understand this particular thing, you can easily solve that question. Then we have one question based on linear classifier, and then sigmoid function was given in the question. Based on this, we are classifying the data set. Okay, so again, a good understanding is required for ML part. Then we have naive Bayes classifier, and question was there based on misclassifying X. Okay, so very important, misclassifying of X. Okay, so naive Bayes classifier, simple total theorem of probability. That's it. Nothing much was there in that particular question. If you apply the total theorem of probability, you can easily solve this question. Okay, so naive Bayes classifier. And then we have complete and single linkage. So complete and single linkage, some maximum and minimum function like what we have discussed in lecture, that was there, and based on that question was there. So I can say this question and this question was easier side. Okay, even simply have gone through my lecture. Even from YouTube videos, you can solve this type of questions. Okay, but these 2 questions required understanding of the concept, this particular thing. Okay, now from 2 marks, we have one question based on support vector machine SVM, and then we have some linear binary classifier like that. Okay, so understanding of concept is required in this particular topic as well. Then we have classification problem. So some distance was given to you. F of X is based on mean of rate minus X, this square minus mu of something minus y square, like that. One question was given, but student said it was on easier side if you understand the how this classification works. Okay, then we have neural network. So simple question. If you have watched my previous videos on my YouTube channel as well, you can easily solve this type of question, right? So there was one option, delta A by delta Y equals to 8. So that was the correct one, I guess, because if you simply go through the process, you are going to get something 20 as the answer, right? So 2A plus 3 was there, and into 5 into 4 was there, that is E part. So if you put A equals to 1, so what you are going to get 20 as the output, but we are talking about delta A by delta Y, so 8 was the answer there. Okay, if you go to the process, if you follow this particular thing. So again, I can say simple question if you understand the neural network. The fourth part is rectified ELU. So I discussed this particular function in our neural network video itself. If you watch that particular video, you can easily solve this type of question. Okay, so simple question was there based on this rectified ELU function. So from ML part, I can say 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. So you can easily score 8 marks from this particular thing. For this question, you require a conceptual understanding. But even if you have watched my videos, you can solve this SVM and linear classifier question easily. Okay, but okay, I can say that this particular ML part was moderate to difficult, I can say, because if you have not understand the concept, it is very difficult to solve this particular question. Okay, but if you have gone through the content, then 2, 3, 4, and this third and fourth question was easier to score. So you can easily score 8 marks from this ML part. Yes, it depends how well you understand the particular concept. Okay, so I can say it's moderate to difficult because good level of question was there based on ML as compared to PDSA, DBMS or AI. ML has very good amount of question, but if you understand the concept, it is easier to solve. So I can say it's a moderate level. Okay, so you can easily score 8 marks from this ML topic as well. So we have discussed up till now 4 courses: AI, Calculus, DBMS, ML. Now we have left with 2 subjects. So that was the main thing. Entire paper was dominated by a linear algebra and probability. So I can say almost 32% weightage was there for LA and probability together. Okay. So paper was completely dominated by LA and probability, and LA question was very conceptual. Okay. Probability, we can say, if you understand the concept, you can solve most of the question. But linear algebra question was there, confusing question, few questions based on probability except 2, 3, rest of the question was easier. Okay. But for linear algebra, again I can say I can say it's a very conceptual question. We'll discuss this topic now. So if you see a linear algebra, there was 4 questions for 1 mark and 5 questions for 2 marks. So if you see together, we have how many questions? So we can say 14 marks weightage was there for linear algebra. Okay, now 1 mark question. There was one question based on Gaussian elimination. Okay, Gaussian elimination. So you can solve this question if you have watched my video, conceptual question, but okay, you can solve this type of question. Then we have one question based on a matrix was given, that is I plus x into x transpose, and one MSQ question was there. So I can say you can also solve this question. Then we have system of linear equation, system of equation. Based on that, there was one question, but I can say it's on the moderate to difficult side, moderate level. And here also I can say one question based on orthonormal and basis vector. Okay, orthonormal basis vector, there was one question based on this. So from this 4 questions you can solve 2 questions easily, you can get a 2 mark. Other question requires a conceptual understanding in depth. Okay, now about a 2 mark question. Okay, so there was one question based on orthonormal, again orthonormal vectors. Okay, then we have one more question based on eigenvectors, eigenvector and covariance. Then we have one question based on this A belong to R and this dimensional space. Then A cube equals to A. So there was one question based on this particular thing. Then we have one question, some eigenvalues we need to find out, or rank of matrix we need to find out. Condition was this one, equal to x square. So this is basically Euclidean distance, something like that. And then we have one question based on linear independent vector. Okay, independent linear vector. So good amount of question. All the questions require conceptual understanding for LA. So I can say it's a difficult part. Okay, so this part was difficult, but if you understand the concept, you can still score, I can say, 4 to 5 marks. So 2 marks from this particular thing. So 4 marks from this particular topic on an average student can score. Okay, so 4 to 5 marks I can say, because of the level of the question was asked is difficult in this particular linear algebra. Okay, so I can say this a difficult section. Okay, LA part is difficult one. Now about the probability. So again, if you see here for 1 marks, so 5 question was there for 1 mark and 7 question was there for 2 marks. So if you see here, So 14 and 5, 19 marks. So 19 marks weightage was there for probability here. Okay. So very good amount of weightage was there. And if you talk about the 1 mark question here, so you can see one question was there based on conditional expectation. Conditional expectation. I don't know what is the question, but this is a topic they have focused on. Okay. One question was based on f of x, median is 3 something, and we need to find out t here. Okay. So t was unknown in function. We need to find out that. Okay. Then we have standard normal variable was given to you, and expectation we need to find out. Okay. So based on the properties, okay, if you understand the properties, you can easily solve this question. So I can say on easier side. Then we have three boxes, and then we have white and black balls. So we already had this type of question in our test series. So if you have gone through that, again you can solve this question. And then we have exponential distribution, question based on exponential distribution and expectation of that. So again, if you remember the properties of this particular thing, you can easily solve this question. So out of 5 questions, you can solve 3 questions easily from this particular probability part. Now what about a 2 mark question here? So there was one question based on what? Throwing a fair die 100 times. Okay. So there was one question based on this particular thing. Then we have one question based on the random experiment having 5 white balls and 10 black balls, and we need to find out expectation of S100, something like that. Okay. So I can say very good question. Then we have one question based on Bernoulli distribution, but it was based on central limit theorem. Okay. Then we have exponential distribution, question focusing on exponential distribution. Again, if you have gone through tests, you can easily solve this question. Then we have one question based on standard normal variable, and variance was the question, right? Unknown. So again, you can easily solve this particular question. And there was one question based on coin toss experiment. Okay, coin toss experiment, and it was MSQ question. But if you understand that particular thing, again you can easily solve this question. So I can say in general you can score 4 and this 3, 7 to 9 marks easier from this particular probability. Again, we can say it's a difficult section, difficult subject, a difficult question was asked from this particular topic. But if you understand the concept, I can say 7 to 9 marks are on average you can score. If you understand the concept and if you have solved a good amount of question, previous year questions from other branches also, you can easily score 7 to 9 marks from this particular topic. Okay. So linear algebra and probability, if you see 14 plus 19, so 33% weightage was there based on this particular two topic. And if you also add calculus, so that become 42%. Entire math section was there for 42%. So just one thing from my side. Again, don't expect that next year also you are going to get same amount, same weightage for every topic. Okay. If you see previous year paper, PDSA course was the one having most number of questions and weightage as well. So PDSA and probability was there. Probability you can expect again same thing, 15, 17 marks. But for other subjects, don't go through a pattern like, okay, last year they asked for 14 marks in algebra, next year they will also ask for the same weightage. No, they can also increase the weightage. Similarly, don't think like that AI and this DBMS or PDSA was for lesser weightage, so it's not like that they are going to keep the same weightage next time as well. So paper setting committee is different, so they set the paper accordingly. Okay, don't restrict yourself that you are going to only focus on LA and probability part. Yes, it's obvious that we should focus more on LA and probability, but it's not like that we ignore the other subjects. All subjects are very important for GATE DA paper. We have 7 subjects, and you can expect any 2 subjects having domination in the next paper as well. It can be anything. It can be PDSA, DBMS, or PDSA probability as well, like what we have in the last year paper. So this is the paper analysis to understand the level of difficulty. So if you see, except LA and probability, rest five subject was on easier to moderate side, but these two subjects are difficult to score. So if you see here, from probability we can consider 8 marks. Here let's say 5 marks, 13. Then we have 21. Again here 8 to 9 marks, 30 marks. Here 7 to 9 marks, so we can say 38. Then we have this 7 marks, 45. This 6 marks, 51. Then we have aptitude part, that is basically 9 marks to 60. So 60 marks on average students can get. It depends on the individual how they are prepared for the exam. So I can say if you have gone to the content, you can easily get 60 marks. You can easily score 60 marks. And based on the level of difficulty, scoring 75 plus is a good one in this particular paper. If you are getting 75 plus, then that's it. Okay. But on an average, a good student can get 60 marks if they have prepared pretty well. Okay. And it depends if you have mathematical background, because from stats and maths background student was also eligible for this exam. For them, we can say it's a good opportunity to score more marks in this particular paper if they focus on other subject as well. Okay. So I can say 75 plus is definitely to get into IITs. Okay. But on average, student can score 60 marks. So that's the complete paper analysis for GATE Year 2025. I can say this paper was moderate, okay, not that much difficult. If you just ignore LA and probability, rest paper was easy. But if you consider LA and probability, then it becomes moderate, okay. So next year we should focus on LA part, okay. So this is a complete analysis, and this is what I can say. And if you and someone has taken my course or test series, they can easily score around this 55-60 marks. Okay, if you have gone through all the content and all the questions, then again easily score 55 to 60 marks if you have gone through my content. Okay, we'll add few questions, so I know AI part was completely covered. All the questions you can easily solve. Calculus also you can easily solve all the questions. We'll see how this question was there. But if you have gone through the content, you can easily solve questions based on AI, calculus, PDSA as well. Okay. The type of question was asked that was different, but if you understand the concept, except 2-3 questions, you can easily score 7 to 9 marks if you have gone through the content. DBMS, except this hashing part and this particular data warehouse concept, rest all the questions are on easier side and we have covered everything. Okay. So I can say this hashing and this OLAP part. So I will record the video based on this one and will add into a course. Okay. ML part, we need to focus more on the questions part. Okay. Concept is same only. Whatever we have discussed, that is only required. But how to apply that particular concept is what we need to think, right? So for this, we need to add a question of that level. So we need to work on the question. So I will do that. I need to work on the question part on ML side, a few topics on DBMS. That is from all 5 subjects. But for LA, few more concept plus questions are required. So I will try to add this particular thing. Okay. And probability, I already discussed the concept, but question we need to focus. Okay, so more questions I need to record like tutorials, and for LA, concept part is remaining. Okay, I can say that LA is not completed as of now. Considering this particular factor, I'm going to record LA. The rest of the course you can see here. Okay, so this is from my side. I hope you understand a complete analysis of this particular paper. So you can expect good student to score 60 marks in this particular paper. Okay. So that's it from my side. But if you are interested in purchasing a GATE DA26 course, so it's already live. You can purchase entire course at just 3,000 rupees. So all the 7 subjects along with aptitude part plus test series is just at 3,000 rupees. Okay. And I will add the remaining topic that is not there in the course, like hashing. Then we have this OLAP part, and then LA and a probability part. So we're going to add this topic as well. So the course is going to get updated every year as we as we see new questions or new topic coming. Okay, so that's it from my side. If you have any question regarding the question paper analysis or next year course, you can simply comment below. Okay, so that's it from my side. Thank you.